Hashtag drama alert. There's news to expose. Hashtag breaking. SS Sniper Wolf has a vagina. More on that at 11.
Vaginas.
Hey guys, this is Scarce here. Lots of news today. Lots of exposure. And double upload.
Expose. 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 Expose.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am completely pissed. I was gonna write a script for this video. Why am I still getting hate?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scarce here, and so from now on, I am going to report the news. Let's go inside the stories!
Expose. 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 Expose.
You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
Expose. 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 Expose.
It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Some exposure. Expose. Expose myself to you. To you. To you. E-X-P-O-S-E. Expose.
Expose. Expose. Expose. Expose. Expose. Expose. Expose. Expose. Expose. Expose. Expose.
Hashtag drama alert. There's news to expose. Hashtag breaking. SS Sniper Wolf has a vagina. More on that at 11.
Vaginas.
Hey guys, this is Scarce here. Lots of news today. Lots of exposure. And double upload.
Expose. 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 Expose.
You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am completely pissed. I was gonna write a script for this video. Why am I still getting hate?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scarce here, and so from now on, I am going to report the news. Let's go inside the stories!
Expose. 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 Expose.
You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
Expose. 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 Expose.
It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Some exposure. Expose. Expose myself to you. To you.
Horses
Hello, everybody. Good evening. How are you? I don't know. I don't know if they're not sending out notifications tonight. It's weird. I usually get more people in here quicker, even on slow nights, but whatever. I'm not going to restart the stream or anything. How the hell is everybody? People will eventually come in. Usually when this happens, it just means that an hour from now they'll send out the notifications, but usually I stream for 2 hours, so that's fine. Or maybe just people find me boring and I'm not as beautiful as they once thought I was. Why do horses come on courses? I'm starting off. We're starting off on a good foot tonight. I have no seltzer up here. Well, that's an ass. I did tweet the stream. I did tweet it. Hey, I got my too many horses and a horse daddy. You got plenty. Yo, yeah, you have a farm, don't you, Dan? You excited for the? I'm interested. I bought one. I'm actually very happy still with the 12. I don't, and I have like I just don't. Hold on one second. I just really don't see a need to jump to the 13. I have, if I need like 120 hertz screen and other stuff, I have the Fold, and the camera on here is more than fine. So I'll probably I'll wait until there's either stock of it, or I'll just wait until like the 14. Hey, I got 2 minutes. So yeah, I'm excited for it, man. That was probably the coolest piece of tech I saw. From like, all right, I'll get one so I could use it twice and be an idiot. No, but I'll use it. I'll use it in my iPad Mini quite a bit. You see Wings leaked dick. How did he get a dick pic leaked? And here's the other thing I want to talk about too before I turn into an asshole and the edibles kick in more than they already are. Look, I get people like Phil do dumbass things, but it doesn't mean that people should dig into their purse. Like, how did someone get access to Phil's bank accounts and like his transactions and stuff like that? Just because someone, you don't like what they do online or you think they're a lol cow or whatever doesn't mean you get to go that far, man. I'm not saying anyone here did that, but yeah, that's just not okay. That's not okay at all. Like, look, if you want to criticize him for having a nervous breakdown about a fucking chicken sandwich, I'm all for it. I thought that was one of the funniest things that I've ever witnessed on YouTube since I've been doing it. But in terms of like, don't go into anyone's personal life, man. It's just not okay no matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's me. It doesn't matter if it's Wings. It doesn't matter if it's Linus Tech Tips. It doesn't matter if it's whoever. Yeah, someone like was posting on my Twitter feed like bank statements, and I'm like, what the fuck? I blocked him and I reported him. I'm like, no, man, like that's not okay. I was not keeping that shit on my feed in a reply. All right, you think, yes, Phil is a dumbass for losing his mind over a chicken sandwich, but it doesn't mean that people should like hack into his banking accounts and find out what his transactions are. There's no, I saw people saying like, oh, but he talks about it all. So that means you should hack into his bank account? That's like that's like the equivalent of breaking into someone's house almost. Pretty much. Okay, so we know his whole shtick. You know, he complains about, and I don't know. It was just kind of like people take it too far, man. And that's why even when you're just critical of something or just laughing at the fact that someone's having a meltdown over something ridiculous, like people insinuate that or correlate that, I mean to say that's the right word, with bullying. Because what happens is that someone talks about someone else either in a negative or even positive light. I almost sound like DSP, but even or in a positive light. And people think, oh, he or she talked about this person, so that gives me the green light to bother and annoy the shit out of it. No, it doesn't. It just means that someone has it. I never, ever, 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 ever condone that shit. And it's very frustrating that for some reason people think that's a green light to do. I don't know. It's just incredible. Burger King has bug chicken burgers. Yes. Maybe. Any day, yes. And I got coffee over my glasses because it backsplashed. Awesome. Awesome. Great stuff. We are off to a rolling start here. No, I did not read Kotaku's evisceration of the Amico, but we will. We will. I just clapped like a seal, but that's okay. That's worth Kotaku Amico. I'm sure it'll pop up right away. No. What the hell just happened right there? Kotaku Amico. The Intellivision Amico disaster explain. Well, no, that's old. That's old. When did this happen? What's up, dude? I love your streams, bro. Just say what it is, bro. Do you ever play the NES? Of course, I haven't played it in a while, but yeah. I think it was last year for the first time I beat Castlevania on stream. The original one. Dad, you missed my super. You need a soundbite of Jeb Bush. Shit, I didn't miss it, but I forgot to respond to it, if that makes any sense. Yeah, that would actually be a good one. So, I hope everyone... Now my glasses are all fucking got shit all over them. I got an idea. The hell was I saying? Man, this really distracted me. This getting coffee on my fucking left. It's amazing how something so small can fuck up your whole flow. It's the hazards of live streaming. Well, the bird is actually more dangerous, but he's being good right now, so leave him alone. Did it really break through? Okay, now let's see if I can fucking see. Yes. Jesus Christ. No, it wasn't that. No, this is not as epic. I'm going to finish this actually real quick. So thank you for loving my reviews. Thank you to everyone today who watched. That video is doing, especially for usually long videos, I would say 99% of the time, even if it's on a popular topic, don't do well on my channel. Because people are just like, yeah, I'm not sitting down and watching this whole thing. But the Soulja Boy review is up across the board. It's up with views. It's up with watch time. It's up with engagement. Thank you, everybody. I was kind of like, because when my editor finished, he's like, dude, it's 27 minutes long. And I'm like, fuck. That's a long video. That's what I needed to say. There's a couple places where I repeated myself. I didn't realize I shouted out Sunpie in the video 3 times. But that's a whopping 20 seconds. But there were other things that maybe I could have trimmed back on a little bit. So, but still, it's doing well. I guess, but I'm saying, though, when I first heard him say that, I'm like, even though I know people want to see the review, I don't really, it's probably going to do like 30 or 40,000 views. Yeah, true. Be careful with the cup. I'm a thick fucking guy in more ways than one. But yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. I didn't expect it. It's at over 70,000 views in a few hours, and that's pretty fucking nuts. What has it been, like 7 hours since it's been up? Which, again, for a video pushing 30 minutes long is usually nothing, no matter what the topic does that well when they're long like that on my channel. So, I really appreciate that. So, no, we don't need another coffee. Careful with that cup. It's so fucking true, though, man. I said that to you before. So, yeah. I guess the YouTube gods are like, oh, yeah, your long Soulja Boy review is doing well. We're not sending out notifications tonight, sir. Kotaku Amico disaster explained is from 1 day ago, but why does it say 2018? Oh no, we got to move the bird for this. It said August 2018 next to it. Now I'm clicking on it. It says yesterday. Yeah, but okay, this is the first paragraph, but when you looked it up, the date on it, whatever. Okay, I'm not. I looked back again. I wasn't going crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. If I verify that, I trust you, Shauman. I know you've been following me on Twitter for a long time. I'm not questioning you, but I always do that. I do my due diligence. Yeah, we may have to part ways. It's funny. Fun fact: I'm actually on ExpressVPN literally right now. I do it with every stream. Did you hear about Gabby Peteo, the Who case? Sounds a lot like Chris Watts. Kill wife says he went missing. Petition for her to come home. Dude, you ever watch when the cops are first called to the house and Chris Watts shows up? He was fucking weird. Like, you knew something instantly was up with that guy. Like, who sits there like, your wife and kids are missing, and we found out what actually happened with the piece of shit, and you're just sitting there texting on your phone? It was so obvious that fucking guy was guilty, bro. It was so ridiculous, man. It was so obvious he was fucking guilty. That was sketchy. Like, if you watch, like, when the cops are talking to him, like, who's just sitting there like, man, if my wife and kids were missing, I would be, like, freaking out. He's just like, there's nothing that could justify. And yet he admitted to it. He did it. So I don't even know why I'm trying to make it like it's allegedly. The motherfucker did it. Yesterday's stream was hilarious. I don't think I've ever laughed. Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun, you know. And like I donated to him today. I saw him doing Call of Duty Vanguard, and yeah, it does look like shit. I said the game actually still does not graphically. Vanguard looks a step back from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and I just played that last night. So it's not that I'm like in my mind's eye remembering that. I'm like, what is? They're not even trying at all. They're going literally to like EA Madden football levels now. Like, it's like the game is going backwards. So, but my point is, you know, I could still be a sport with DSP. I'm not, I have no ill will towards the guy. You know, I'm going to, so, you know, and I don't want to see him like be damaged in any way. And when I saw people posting like bank statements and stuff, I'm like, what are you doing? First off, don't post. I don't want anyone finding that shit through my timeline. You know, you guys know my take. Once you start going into people's personal lives, it's not okay. My question is, what that mouth do? Whose mouth? Mine? Saggy Melons? I'll never be able to say your name with a straight face. I just have to stop. Juicy Booch. What's your take on Dreamcast guy being harassed? Let's watch that now, and then we'll go into Austin Evans. Let's see. Oh, hey, we have 400 people here. That's what's weird. That's why I don't like go and like change the stream key 17 times like I used to, because it's where YouTube sends out notifications when they feel like it. Let's see. So why am I not subbed to Dreamcast guy too? Oh, wait, is this... Which channel is this? No, it's my review tech. No, it's R2 Streams. That's why. Because I'm not subbed to him there. I don't want to... No. No!
Picking it up.
Which video is it? Let's rant about the PS5 drama video. Is that it? Oh, what are you talking about? Chris Watts? Yeah, he's a fucking monster. He's a fucking monster, man. I don't understand how you could murder your kids and take the life from the... It's just... I can't even compute it, but... So is it this video? That's it? Alright, so we will watch this, and then we'll talk about the Amico again, so Saggy Melons can get pissed off. All right, so let's see. Dun, dun. I'm gonna have to go get something to drink. Fuck, I thought I had a whole case of seltzer up here, man. Damn it.
I've done my best not to create any drama videos or even just try and stir
Fun fact, I've seen this man shirtless if you follow him on Twitter.
things up with other YouTubers, but today I need to defend myself. What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here, and today we need to talk about Austin Evans and what has led to my most hated video ever, which involves the PlayStation 5 revision. Now, in case you don't know it, this guy is called Austin Evans. He is a gigantic tech reviewer. He specializes mostly in like Xbox, Microsoft news, stuff like that. Well, he did a gigantic viral video talking about
this
the
ad move out of the way?
PlayStation 5 revision.
Thought
And
they
in
used, I'm so used to using YouTube Premium.
he said that the
That I thought it was I don't know. I'm not used to. I thought the ads just go away. Beleza Chubby, thank you very much. Shout out to you too as well.
new PS5, which has a slightly smaller heatsink, is objectively worse. Now, I made the mistake of just trying to reply to that. I said that the system is pretty much running the same. This new PlayStation 5 that came out, it still plays the same games, it still has the same frame rates, it still has everything else. It's just like 3 degrees hotter. That does not mean it's worse, it just means it's different. Well, Austin Evans, 2 weeks ago, he released a video basically just replying to me and tried to call me out as just some dumb hater. So see, right here in the video, he shows a bunch of different thumbnails of different people who are calling him out for his very inaccurate video. Now, after Austin posted this, I got completely flooded with hate. I mean, bombarded practically to the degrees I've never experienced before. Like, this guy has 5 million subscribers.
Well, I did too. On the other end. Because I kind of said it's not a big deal. Like, even if, all right, yeah, Austin Evans screwed up. Like, whoop-de-doo. You know, you move on. I've fucked up and made mistakes before. I know he's fucked up and made mistakes before. And Spawn Wave. And, like, you just scratch your ass and keep it moving. You know? I mean, I kind of get why Austin had to respond, though, because it was getting out of fucking control.
Subscribers. I've got 200,000. This dude laser focused his fan base on me by putting my face.
Nah, stop. I don't agree with that. Come on, man. You're in this shit too, dude. You're in this shit too. Just talking about someone else doesn't mean that they're laser focusing them. He didn't tell them to attack you. This is kind of talking about what I was saying before. But it's like me yesterday making that DSP stream, which was extremely entertaining to do. That means I'm like laser focusing my audience to attack him. Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. It pisses me off that joking around like that you even have to say this doesn't mean bother. No, shit, don't bother them. Don't bother them. We all do this, like we talk about other people all the time. It's what you do. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm saying like, oh, knock on their fucking door and get their address. Hell no, I would never say that. So no, don't say that, man. Like he was just talking about one of your videos because it probably got a lot of viewership and it was one of the videos that made people go his way. You know? Sorry, but what Austin did was unforgivable and hard. He should be sent to the guillotine and be packed in the hole by Carlos for his crimes. Yes!
Face gigantic in the thumbnail there. And you know what? I can take that. That's part of being a YouTuber. Is sometimes somebody.
All right, good. I may have jumped the gun on hitting the space bar to pause. Hispanic, what's good? Okay. All right.
Bigger punches down on top. It sucked. I hated some of the stuff.
It's not punching. You said punching down, dude. It's not punching down. That's like when I went to. I hate to bring up the Intellivision again, but it is true. I went to Intellivision's YouTube channel and they had smaller content creators, and I was giving my take at how they really didn't seem genuine. Does it mean I was punching down doesn't mean I was punching down on the hell no, I wasn't punching down on them. Like, we got to stop where it's like, oh, if you're talking about someone with a bigger following, you're clout chasing. If you're talking about someone, you're bullying. Like, so you just don't want me to like, what do you want me to do? Just stare at the camera? Like, even when you do like a really in-depth high production value review, like JonTron does stuff like he's talking about people. That's what we're human beings. We interact with other people. I can't just like stare at my controller and not talk about, well, like I could, but that would be kind of weird. Maybe it would be get a lot of views because it's weird. I'll write that down, but you get my point.
People were saying, some people told me to kill myself. I don't like that kind of talk. But what are you going to do? That's sometimes the internet.
I'm told to kill myself every day. Like, it just is what it is. And I'm not comparing this to me. I'm just saying, like, you could have 200 subscribers. If you're not told that you're to go kill yourself like once every 2 weeks, I'd be nervous because probably someone's plotting to do something. Like, it's just unfortunately how it is. Rich, get up, make loud grunts like you're letting out a log out of your ass and say, wipe my ass, Nick Cage. I could just do it sitting right here. Hold on, Dreamcast guy. Max. Wipe my ass, Nick Cage! Wipe my ass.
Here's what I did. Everybody was saying, you gotta do a reply. You gotta punch back, man. This guy's trying to drag your name. But I wanted to wait. I thought...
Can you get a scream? Yes.
Oh!
I think Intro Guy sent that to me a while back, and he was like, I guess the guy was reenacting a murder. I didn't know that at first, but it was just like, and then the guy just sounded like, oh! And I thought it was like the funniest thing ever. Thank you. That feels much better. You're welcome. You're welcome. I know this is random, but I came across this channel, Nikado Avocado, and I was shocked at what I witnessed. Nikado makes take weight loss and being health. I hope it's not too... Yeah, I mean, look, man, weight fluctuates. It goes up, it goes down. I plateaued, went up a little bit, went down, went up a little bit. But he's like, he went from, like, he's like a person, and he's like a person and a half bigger than what he used to be. It's pretty fucking crazy, actually. It's insane. What a moment to come into.
Thought that the best thing to do was wait for the incredible experts to get this new system and analyze it for themselves, instead of just off the cuff replying or trying to put this guy down or stirring things up unnecessarily. I decided that the best move would be to wait until...
I didn't see his other videos, so I don't know if he actually did that or not. I don't know. I just have to say that. I thought your name above Juan Garcia was Nipple Plug.
People who have actual hardware, who are able to test every single freaking degree and frame and piece of tech of this new PlayStation 5, I wanted to wait until they were able to get their hands on the PS5 revision to see how it's going to work. Well, people have done that. Digital Foundry has now just produced a gigantic, huge video with Gamers Nexus, where they actually analyze every single facet of the new PlayStation 5 update. Now here's the thing, they've created a total hour of content across their two separate channels looking at every single asset, every freaking chip, every freaking piece of this new PlayStation 5. And you know what? I was correct. The new PlayStation 5 is not worse. Everybody who's claiming I'm just a Sony fanboy or a shill or something like that, I'm just saying that's wrong.
This is a real B&H customer story.
Jesus, holy bad
Fred Smith,
placement of an
fitness
ad.
instructor and podcaster, started a new business during the pandemic.
Right now,
My middle world ads maybe like I don't know. I don't place them. My editor does.
the original PlayStation 5, this is its cooling unit. It is gigantic. This thing is a behemoth. Now, for good reason. The PlayStation 5 is putting off a lot of heat in general. This system is big, it's powerful, it's trying to play some pretty crazy games that are obviously just 4K and stuff where they can be. So they're trying to basically shove all that heat directly out of the system itself. Now, their analysis proves two separate things. One, first and foremost,
Marco Oh, thank you for becoming a member.
The system isn't really running that much hotter. Like, if you look at their comparisons, a lot of this stuff, it's essentially the exact same system. Mostly
Well, it's the same exact SoC, so it's interesting that the wattage is even, but I guess that could be in the margin of error. But it's the same SoC. It's not even a different fabrication process.
because Sony realizes that you can't have deviation between units. If there was two separate PlayStation 5s on the store shelves, but one was easily and measurably worse, that's going to hurt them. That's not only going to make people not want to buy it, but what about all the freaking stock investors? What about the people that are trying to pitch money into Sony?
Nah, sometimes that's happened in the past before, though, where the system, it's just a revised system and it's sometimes shittier. I don't know any specific examples, but I know it has happened before. It's just like, all right, it's in they make sure the tolerance is there where it won't actually degrade the hardware, at least fast enough that anyone will really care, and they save a couple bucks. Griffin, I don't know. I haven't watched his other videos on it, so I don't know if he's defending something that he did or didn't do. I have no idea. You know.
Themselves. Why would Sony put out an objectively worse system? Now, I want to talk more specifically about their technical analysis.
They do
and
that
why I
all the
think
time,
It's so
dude.
interesting. But first, let's answer the biggest question that's been going around. The biggest thing I see just again and again is why would Sony shrink the heatsink? Because that is the biggest difference. The old PlayStation 5 that came out at launch has this huge, gigantic section of it that's all about shooting the heats out of the back of the system. The PlayStation 5 itself, just in general, has these big vents all the way down the side of it.
Managed to get a PS5, but I have to figure out which one it is because I haven't taken out of the shipping package. My PS4 still does what I need it to do. And either one is fine. You saw those fucking smooth brain idiots who, after Austin Evans' video, they were trying to like sell the original model, the scalpers, for more on eBay. Stop. John M., thank you for becoming a member. Griffin, so I haven't seen his other videos.
Clearly trying to show the fact that heating is a big problem with it. It's trying to make sure that the system doesn't melt or break down or have any drops in frame rates by
What are the-
keeping it as chill as possible. Well, here's the thing. A lot of consoles actually do revisions within the first year. Almost everybody does this. The original Xbox 360 did this. A lot of these systems, what happens is that you make something to be
Yeah, Austin didn't send. I don't like when people do that because it makes that thing, which is already becoming a fucking major problem, where criticizing somebody or doing like a roast like I did last night at DSP at his chicken situation from his chicken sandwich from Burger King, where he's making it like, you know, he bought $1,000 computer from Amazon and they didn't do an exchange for him and they shipped it broken. Like, when you just say stuff like that, it perpetuates where criticism is considered bullying, and we're already kind of there, and that sucks because a lot of comedy comes from other people's stupidity, man. You know what I mean? And if you make it that you can't roast people, then what it's not fun. Don't say that punching down shit.
overly safe. It's always very difficult for console designers to try and predict the amount.
My issue is how Dreamcast guy plays the victim, because Austin simply flashed his thumbnail when Dreamcast made an entire video strawmanning his video and accusing him of being a lying Xbox fanboy. You can't make it up. Maybe we'll watch that. Maybe, you know what? Let me watch that video. So, the PS5, is this it? This the one? Is this the one? So let's watch it. You guys know I don't care if I'm friends with someone or not. I'll give an honest opinion. So, because now I'll understand more of the context of what's going on here. Okay, this is the video he's talking about. I'm going to have to get something to motherfucking drink. I thought I had a whole box of seltzer up here, and my mouth is as dry as my ass. Don't ask why my... Ooh, holy ratios, Batman. That is a ratio that... Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let me go get that luscious liquid down my throat, and then I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, he literally agrees that there is a measurable difference, that the points Austin made were valid. Well, actually, technically, in theory, Gamers Nexus and Digital Foundry, or Gamers Nexus especially, kind of proved him wrong, you know, with all the testing they did. My first name is Rich. That probably sounds weird, but I'm relatively new to your channel. Glorious fart, by the way. Whoa! You are welcome, sir. You are welcome. And yes, my name is Rich. It's okay. Dude, I've been doxxed 6,000 fucking times. It means... it's like, I'm going to dox you. Oh, no. Help. What am I going to do? All right, so let's see.
I'm getting just a little bit frustrated right now.
Whoa, why is he doing this in like... Whoa! Whoa! That's creepy. I just got to keep it real. That is for the fart into the mic. Thank you, Tabara. That's what I'm here for. Basically, SSC runs hotter, but RAM is cooler. It's not a... Austin Evans will recover from this, man. He'll be fine. Dude, you know how many times... like. Especially with how big his audience is, he'll be okay. He'll be just fine. Shit happens, man. It's gonna happen again. You know what I mean? You're going like mistakes are gonna happen. Like that. What is with this like creepy lighting, bro?
Now, so let's just have a nice therapeutic angry rant for the middle of the night. What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here, and yes,
I wonder if he was like sleeping naked, and he just woke up and like. I wonder if he just like woke up and flexed in his mirror. He's like, time to talk about Austin Evans. It's that alpha male shit you wouldn't understand. He looks like he's like pinching his nipples and about to bust a nut right there. Let's continue.
these are my real pajamas. I wear a Goku gi in my sleep. But let's
No, he sleeps naked. I'm telling you. The man sleeps naked.
turn on the spotlight and talk about this ridiculousness that keeps cycling across the internet. I've seen so much debate recently about this new PlayStation 5 revision. Basically, Sony is trying to make a slightly updated change to the PlayStation 5, another version to basically churn out to make sure the PlayStation 5 has systems on store shelves. Well, this guy, Austin Evans, he is a very big YouTuber, and he's had this trending video for the last 2 days called The New PS5 is Worse. Now, Austin Evans is a very intelligent gentleman. He decided to do a detailed analysis, breaking them down, running some games, seeing the new PlayStation 5 that's just been produced versus the old PlayStation 5. Now, what I find most fascinating is the fact that he decided to do a complete teardown of it as well, opening it up, and he discovered something is significantly different in this new PlayStation 5, which is this. The PlayStation 5 weighs a half-pound less because it has a smaller heatsink. Now, here is an exact side-by-side comparison. This is what is going on, and I cannot believe the amount of people that are freaking out about this. But let's talk about why these people seem to be upset, what seems to be the fear of what's going on, and why this is happening. So what you're looking at here is the heatsink. This is the original PlayStation 5 that's being currently sold in most places, and this is the revised PlayStation 5, the update that's currently being produced, and it seems that we're going to start seeing this version exclusively showing up on store shelves. Now,
Well, yeah,
as you
it's
can
how it
see,
always goes.
this thing is the heatsink. This is how the heat is taken out of the system and shot out the back. It basically makes sure that nothing just gets too toasty inside the system itself. Now, let's be clear, this exists for a singular reason. It's because they want to try and just make as many PlayStations as possible. By actually going into the system itself and just shrinking down specific parts, swapping things out, what they're actually
They cut down costs. That's why the PS5 digital, or no, whatever PS5, they're no longer making a loss. They're taking a loss on it. They're actually making a little bit of money.
going to do is they're making it so they can produce a lot more PlayStation 5s. This shortage, let's face it, the PlayStation 5 shortage, it completely sucks for everybody involved. I have a pretty big friend group, and nobody I know in real life, not a single person, owns a PlayStation 5. I am the only PlayStation 5 in my entire friend group, and it's simply because I got lucky and happened to pre-order one last year. This system is way too stupid difficult to track down, and Sony themselves knows this. I'm sure they realize
Friends would walk up to me and just be like, "What the f is in your mug?" And I would just tell them,
I have diarrhea. That looks like diarrhea shit. What is that? It may be good. I'll say I've never tried
"Mud."
it. Oh, it looks like mud. Thank you.
by the millions of emails they're probably getting and angry tweets telling them to, get fisted or whatever the heck. They know that the PlayStation 5 is way too hard to get. So I think that this is their attempt to start making a smaller, cheaper revision. That way they can produce them just a little bit faster. Now, part of the anger about this, I think, comes from Austin Evans himself. This guy's done a bunch of big viral content talking about Microsoft and how much he just thinks it's the best system ever and stuff like that.
No, he hasn't thinks it's the best system ever. He just got access to it, and he never got access to the PlayStation 5. That's all. He never said it's the best system ever.
You can see this is one of his videos looking at the Xbox Series X that has 16 million views. The guy is very heavily an Xbox content creator. Nothing wrong with that. We all have our favorite systems, but I think a lot of
Oh. Rich is your name. You rock. Thank you, Punk Sticks. A friend told me apparently on GTA Online there's going to be a Christine Easter egg. Have you seen that movie, Rich? No, I have not. Also, my grandma said hi. Tell your grandma I said hello back. The Funk Delia. Hey, Rich, I don't know if you remember YouTuber RM Brown, but his channel got deleted recently with no warning or explanation. You should look into it. I don't know. No, I haven't heard about that, man. I'll look into it.
people are kind of assuming malice. So a lot of people are thinking that his video was just
No, here's the thing is that no content creator is going to just throw, any content creator with brain is not going to throw a company like that just under the bus for the sake of it. It doesn't make any sense to do. I've talked about this before.
just overly negative, because one of the conclusions he came to is that this new PlayStation 5 does in fact run hotter, only by a couple degrees, but there is a discernible difference between the old PlayStation 5 that came out last year versus this new PlayStation 5 that's being released now. There is an actual measurable distance between these two different systems. It's tiny, but it does exist. But the key conclusion that Austin tried to draw in this video is the fact that it's pretty apparent that this new PlayStation 5 is pushing out more heat. But here's the gigantic thing that's making me just lose my mind. People are apparently saying that this hotter heat somehow is going to cause the PlayStation 5 to melt or break or sometimes just become faulty faster. Yes, I'm serious. There are millions of people on the internet claiming that the
Ooh, there's a lot of phlegm there.
PS5 is going to catch fire or something. So I took a look at some experts. This is actually an article over here on VentureBeat. This is a Jeff Grubb write-up. Now, you got to admit, this is a very, very funny image of a nuclear bomb PlayStation 5. But here's what he said.
What was I doing on that day? I was coming home from the gym, and I had no idea what was going on until I got home. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, no, it looks like a fart coming out of my ass.
Said the new PlayStation 5 model is not actually worse. So he goes through this and essentially talks about the fact that even though this is 300 grams lighter, which here in America that basically means it's a half-pound lighter, basically what's happening is that this is not actually worse. Based on the smaller heatsink, Evans and others have come to the conclusion that the new
Oh, that phlegm.
PlayStation 5 model is worse than the original. But that's actually a squishy statement that doesn't really line up with how we buy and use a gaming console. Jeff Grubb goes on here in his article to state that, I suppose you can claim that the latest PlayStation
Oh, he has that phlegm.
5 model is worse if you're purchasing it as some sort of weird silicon
3DSP laughs. Oh, dear God. Oh, oh God. Oh, God. Oh! Oh, I don't know if I'm going to recover from that, man.
cooling toy, but most people are probably purchasing it to play games. And both the original and revised hardware play the same.
He should have pictures of himself shirtless flexing in the background, like life-size pictures. That would be... I don't know why that would be really creepy and funny simultaneously. Like if he was just flexing behind himself. Dreamcast got here. Keep flexing. Shirtless. Has to be shirtless.
Same games with the same performance. That's what's kind of essential here, is that this new PlayStation 5, it's not going to make your house actually get heated. It's not putting off
Well, dude, the phlegm, swallow it. Oh, swallow it.
so much heat that it's a danger or a threat. It doesn't seem like the system itself is having...
Christine is a killer car movie, and some people say that was probably one of the better killer car movies. It's been a while since I've seen it. I've never seen it. Oh, but man, I let out a rip-roaring fart. Bless me.
Any sort of major cooling issues, a la the era of the Red Ring of Death.
Joe Church, stop. I'm not here to make fun of Dreamcast guy himself.
Which originally was caused by the Xbox overheating. It seems like this is just a singular 1, 2, or 3 degrees. Like right here it says the difference is 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. Now, I think it's interesting that people are trying to pretend that this is just such a gigantic problem. Like, people are just across the internet right now, the amount of people trying to have this conversation point that, oh,
Bro, you know the deal for me to go shirtless, son. You know the deal. It's the only paywall I have on this stream, son.
oh my god, this PlayStation 5 is gonna melt. Oh my, there's so many PlayStation 5s just bursting into flames. That's not happening. And on top of that, PlayStation 5s are still just exceedingly rare. Let's just boil this down to brass taxes here. Even if you want to claim this is something actually going on, even if this new PlayStation 5 is just 1% worse, I think most people would be thrilled to find a PlayStation 5 at all right now. I mean, this is still the rarest console on the planet. People are still just lining up. People are still freaking out. People still have Twitter notifications to try and hopefully find a PlayStation 5.
Those Twitter notifications. I mean, look, it's still one of the better chances you have in having the bell on for them on Twitter so you get the notification. But by the time you get there, they're always fucking gone, man. They're always gone.
Do you think there's anybody that's going to walk into Walmart and see that
Yeah,
it
just
has
like-
a slightly different barcode number on it and go, oh my god, this is the bad PS5. I can't get the bad PS5. That's not happening. This is people that are just trying to get the PlayStation 5 itself. Now, the last person I wanted to look at was actually MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer. This
I thought about covering the PS5 revision in a video, but I don't believe there's anything worth discussing. Hotter is subjective when you take readings from the exhaust. When I measured my launch PS5 drew 60 degrees when I was playing games at load.
guy is actually programmed PlayStation 5 games. He's made Xbox games. He's made a lot of different Nintendo Switch games. This guy absolutely loves to try and test stuff out thoroughly for himself. And here he basically said, I've thought about covering the PlayStation 5 revision in a video, but I don't believe there's anything worth discussing.
That's wrong, Griffin Gaming. He is missing the center part there, though. You're right. I didn't even notice that until you said it.
Whoops, I'm making a video about this at 2 a.m. Sorry about that, MVG. He says this, hotter is subjective when you're taking readings from the exhaust. When I measured my launched PlayStation 5 last year, I drew 140.9 Fahrenheit when I was playing games at load. So basically what he's saying is that these systems, like the amount of heat they're off-putting is not the same amount as what's actually going on inside the system itself.
This is a real B&H customer story. Jack and Barbara, professional wildlife photographers and B&H customers for 30 years.
Even if a system is actually pushing off a lot of heat, the odds of it melting, catching fire, or just instantaneously breaking is so incredibly low.
That's not what Austin Evans was saying, Dreamcast guy. He was just saying that it could shorten the lifespan of it. He didn't say it was going to melt down anyone's house. He didn't say it was. Now, the Ring cameras from Amazon, actually, when they first came out, or a while ago anyway, were catching on fire, but he wasn't saying that. He was just saying his concern was the hardware was going to degrade quicker.
You have to be playing this thing in a sweaty warehouse with 100-degree temperature for 10 hours a day for these systems to actually break.
No, it would just throttle itself at a point to protect the silicon is what it would do. That wouldn't even happen there.
Are made to cool. If you ever actually open up a PlayStation 5, a huge chunk of it is one gigantic cooling core. If you think that 3 or 4 degrees of Celsius is going to instantly make this thing become exploded like the 4th of July.
Again, he didn't say that. You're over-exaggerating what he said. Without a doubt. He never said that, and I never said that either. I never tried to insinuate he was saying that. He was just saying that when you have more heat and it stays inside the system anyway, it degrades components faster, especially like capacitors and stuff like that, man. Those will dry up quicker.
Buddy, that ain't how physics works. Going back to that Jeff Grubb article, I feel like he really wraps things.
Yeah, I gotta put the OS back on my PS3. I have a fat PS3, and an OG fat one. It's nice. But then I fucking bricked it, the operating system anyway.
Up very nicely with essentially a talk about what this really boils down to, which is just a minor revision. Back in the day, whenever you were getting the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 3, you always had these tiny touches, these updates to the system itself. A slim model, an ultra slim, one that doesn't have disc trays, but
the absolute shit 90s looking boombox slim. Or you know what that looks like? It either looks like, because some of the boomboxes actually had where like the cassette tray slid over or the CD tray slid over, or it looks like a cheaper component CD player, because like you would buy like either a no-name brand or a cheaper component, because that's when they were real expensive, and that's what it would look like. That looks like a late 80s, early 90s piece of technology. I have no idea what crack Sony was smoking when they made. I mean, look, I forgot I don't have the PS5 there anymore. I would say the PS5 is fairly ugly too, but I go back and forth between if that's the ugliest or if the PS3 Super Slim is the ugliest. And there ain't nothing super about that revision. Fuck that thing.
instead the system itself just opens up. Now each of these versions of it basically were the same specs, it was the same processing power, it's the exact same console, it just has some tiny tweaks on the technology side that makes it where Sony or Microsoft or whoever can make these things a little bit easier on their end. anybody who's trying to act like the new PlayStation 5 is trash or that suddenly Sony is trying to sell you out, you guys are psychos. This is a tiny, normal, standard revision. Do you know how much money Microsoft lost dealing with the Red Ring of Death? Literally $1 billion. Literally a...
Yeah, well, the original 360 revision had the original Fat 360 had a 50% failure rate. That is baffling. A product came to market with a 50% failure rate. Let that sink in. There was a 50% chance if you bought a Fat 360 with the swappable faceplates that shit was going to die. Oh.
$1 billion was lost dealing with console returns with the
phlegm, I can't.
Xbox 360. That's what they dealt with. Nobody wants to repeat that. Sony can't afford to lose $1 billion of PlayStation.
3 Xbox 360s died on me one. You know what's funny though? I had granted it was a later. My first 360 was the revision. It was a revised one still, but it was the fat one, a fat white 360. That didn't have HDMI out on it because the 360 when it initially came out, it didn't have HDMI. But that one I never had. The only thing that happened to that one is it started getting loud. But it had no problems reading discs. But I never had the Red Ring of Death on that one. I don't think did I even get the Red Ring of Death? And I played quite a bit of my 360s. No. And the PS3 got the yellow light of death. Dad looking luscious tonight. Turbo farts, please. Yes.
Right now, I guarantee that they tested this thing thoroughly before they started.
You don't know that though. That you don't. Gamers Nexus does. They don't know that. They have no. You don't know. Microsoft probably hoped at least that the original 360 with the testing that they did, that was not going to happen, and then oops. So you don't know that. Okay, man, what are your rules? If you donate a 50, this started with a meme. This shirt comes off for a half an hour. God, I do sound like a cam stripper. I do. Let's just keep it real. When you understand none of the backstory and you really think about it, I sound like I strip for money, which I guess technically, with no context, I do. I'm just a man on the internet. I miss the days when I had the 360 go straight home from high school and play Halo 3. God, I missed that. Yeah, dude, I remember I worked at... God, you're like wiping some cobwebs off my fucking brain, man. That's a story. Thank you. No, I remember when... before that game was coming out, I worked at Circuit City, not Express. I said Express before, but that's not. I was fixing computers at Circuit Cities right before I got the IT job in IBM. And I remember everyone was so hyped for it. It wasn't even out yet. And then I remember going to the day it came out, I remember I was with my ex because we worked the same job sometimes. Like I worked it as a part-time thing with her. And we went to go pick up the game, and instead of working that day, I called out and I got laid and played Halo. I don't really think that anyone could complain about a fucking day like that. My friend who owns a game store won't buy an OG3. You can't because, oh my God, they're train wrecks. You can't. Hosting my fiance bachelorette party so I can get a spread your cheeks. I don't have a spread your cheeks, but I do have a...
You're getting Grandpa excited. Oh, yeah.
I can give you that. Yeah, man, I got laid. Called out of work. That was terrible. And I played Halo. Can't complain about that.
Just throwing them onto boxes and putting them into trucks to mail out to fans themselves. If this system does start failing, if it does start having crashing and heating issues, I mean, Sony's going to get cooked way more than any PlayStation 5 games are going to. But these are just some random off-the-cuff aggravated thoughts, because this kind of stuff, I get so annoyed.
Thank you. Slightly intoxicated. You're welcome. You are quite welcome. Hold on one second.
When there's like a tiny piece of well-edited misinformation that spreads and spreads and spreads. Jesus. Think for yourself. Question authority. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. Please give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, and do me the biggest favor of all, and keep dreaming. Also subscribe. Be sure to subscribe.
Can you play a clip of Muda is Sus? I have a link. Maybe. Yeah, sure. My friend got vaccinated. He now has big swollen balls. All the ladies want him. Dr. Minaj doesn't know. And it's amazing that people will listen to her before they listen to doctors. Or that I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't understand. I just... When my ex was blowing me, she had a happy ending. I never regretted that. It's a heartwarming story. 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Subscribe.
I mean, you know, here, I'm going to keep it real. I don't think that he deserved that. For two things, he wasn't that angry. So the angry rant is a little inaccurate. However, with that being said, don't really see why what he did there that was this ratio worthy, but who am I? I'm just a man on the internet. I just got to keep it real with you. I just don't think that he should have been ratioed like that. There was nothing there that was that bad, but okay. So anyway, let me here we go. The new gaming console is becoming a giant car crash. Explained. Oh man, they're not pulling any punches here. Holy fuck! Right, close the ad. On October 22nd, 2018, Intellivision unveiled the Amico, a family-friendly retro console. The pitch: the games would be simple to play and cost no more than $8. The console itself would retail for about $180. Actually, they said even a little cheaper than that, if I remember correctly, with all the games being exclusive to the console. In that initial trailer, the Amico was given a release date of October 10th, 2020. A year and 3 days later, a lot has changed for the Amico. Today in 2021, the console is now available for pre-order for $250 to $300. I see you coming through DBZ. I will highlight you so I know where to go next. The games can cost as much as $20, and they won't be all exclusives. It would be easier to excuse these changes if the end product seemed exciting enough, but the console's projected specs, Intellivision's shady investment pitches, and the poor behavior of CEO Tommy Tallarico make it hard to get excited for the Amico. Odds are good that you never really heard about the Amico at all, though. Here's what you should know. They start off with the Tommy Tallarico factor. I like it. Before diving into the nitty-gritty of the console, it's worth knowing about Tommy Tallarico, who has become the face of the Amico. Tallarico purchased the rights to the original Intellivision brand name and all of its classic games in 2018. While you might recognize his name from old episodes of Judgment Day or Electric Playground, Tallarico is primarily known as the creator of a concert series known as Video Games Live. He also composed music for numerous games over the last few decades and created the famous Roblox oof noise, though not for Roblox. Hold on one second. He's also quick to speak his mind, which often leads to issues. Tommy Tallarico posted on the Atari Age forums frequently. He replies to folks around a dozen times a day, sometimes more. Many of these posts are what you expect, but if you dig around more, you'll find some truly bizarre posts. Tommy has insulted critics, reporters, and YouTubers who are critical of the Amico, even calling some of those people gaming Gaming racist. He said that on my live stream. And mentally unstable. He also refers to critics as idiots, morons, and has told them to return to their safe spaces when they won't challenge him in an interview. Tellerico routinely participates in thread wars, arguing with people for hours or days, which is true. I have seen it. $2 for a nipple. No, man. This would turn into like softcore porn every day if I start doing shit like that. And that's just a meme. Like, I don't take off pants. I don't take shots of anything. I won't do a big waxy dab for, like, I will do, like, shots of hot sauce and shit like that. But, like, I don't want it to go down that road. You know? A great example of Tellerico's odd behavior as CEO came after the Ars Technica report about the publicly archived Amico dev portal and all the specs and info in it revealed. Tellerico, in response to the report, insulted the author of the article and threatened legal action in an odd, and now deleted, series of tweets that were saved by Game History org founder Frank Cifaldi. It also was dragged up during that Tommy follows many right-wing right supremacists on Twitter. Oh no. No. What's going on here? What is going on here? There's so much to unpack here. This rules. Okay. Did not know it was illegal to practice journalism by investigating a publicly available source. I should be in prison 52. He's right. He's right. He's right. This all adds up. What did he say here? Yeah, I'm going to get sued for posting a screenshot of his tweet now. I hadn't kept up on his behavior online in a while, and wow. That's wow. I wonder if I'm now a gaming racist for being critical of his product and behavior of its CEO. Wait, is Lord Rakin? The whole sack of shit that independent threat actually caused me to totally leave this site. I wanted to actively participate and ask tough questions, as they say Rich doesn't do, but guess what? The losers there were so bent on posting, I guess he's talking as images and acting like lunatics that have nothing to do with bash things. I felt totally embarrassed, and I could even possibly be that's what they have done. They are pushing away actual criticism or evaluation that could be helpful towards Tommy by making anyone who is critical like me walk away from the site in fear of being a St. Patrick and Lady Ian's. Why do they call him Lady Ian? Completely fucking stupid behavior. I am glad it's catching on. What an absolute joke of people that belong on Reset or 4chan or somewhere where they can post their stupid ass images and laugh at themselves all day. I can't take any of their shit seriously. I can barely even comment on YouTube videos anymore. Logic took a backseat a long time ago in favor of acting like 12-year-olds. So agreed. I always appreciate and liked our back and forth as you were respectful in giving opinions and concerns. And yes, there's another word for folks who go out of their way to pick on it. It's called a bully. I'm not picking on you, man. Don't even say I'm picking on you. I'm not saying you're saying me, but I ain't picking on you, Tommy. Their goal is to give concerns. It's to make fun of something and discriminate against something that is different or they don't understand. No. Another word for that is racist. They are gaming racist. There, I said it. That is such a bad term. He first said that on my stream. Remember, this system is supposed to be the next Wii. It's meant to fill in that gap for family gaming, and this is not him being like caught in private moment. This is a public forum about the product. This is the official statement from the company's CEO. I should probably just leave this all alone, but it just adds up. If you're like me and you don't engage with people who follow white supremacists as a policy, you probably shouldn't support the Intellivision Amico. More examples. Who? Okay, gaming raise, numbskull YouTubers, folks. Keep in mind, idiots like Pat. Wonder if he says anything about me here. I know I'm not on Tommy. I'm not Tommy. He's not as much of a fan of me anymore because of my safe space. Safe space. Okay. I know Tommy's diehard Trump. I could have said that. But to say that he's a white, like, see, I'm not a fan of that. See, look, you guys know very well how I feel about Tommy Loring and especially the quartering. You know. You also know that I'm not racist. I don't know if Jesus Christ, like, if that's going to get him canceled, like, there's people that I follow just because I think they're train wrecks. Does it mean I agree with their fucking takes? Really? Like, that's where we're going? Now, look, I know Tommy is a very avid Trump supporter. He's admitted it on my streams. And I don't agree with that. But that's what we're going by? Come on. And I think the quartering is a fucking turd. You know what I'm saying? Believe me. And Tommy Loring, too. She's a fucking soulless shill. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That he's scrubbed any alt-right folks from his following list since it was discovered. Well, yeah, because now... All right, and this is kind of silly shit. This is very Kotaku-ish. Let's just put it that way. So going beyond that, let's see. What's this? Naturally, I suggest I'd love to see the show one day. What is it? What is he talking about? I don't even know here. This is too much of a rabbit hole for me to decipher right now. Okay. All right. So you anyway, Adam, thank you very much. Yo, you think Cassandra, she just turned 70. I still think she's... Yeah, 70's pushed it. She's like, dude, I don't know. Angry Joe sucks. I don't think he sucks. But ever bang a girl that had a tail butt plug in? No. Rich Tomorrow, what are you doing? Farting? Of course! Yeah, I don't get it either, Bobby. Come on, $2 a nipple. This guy, $2 a nipple. All right, so let's get back to the article. I don't... The three people, at least, that he showed there. like, man, I follow some people that I am totally different than them politically. I'm trying to think of somebody, or some people that you would think are genuinely terrible people, and I probably would agree with you, but I follow them more so, it's like, as like a train wreck, like you can't stop looking at it. You know what I mean? Dude, she's 70, bro. I don't know, man. Like, the number would just keep going through my head and I would go flaccid. Yeah, like, I think I follow Ben Shapiro. Does that mean I agree with him? Like, come on. That's just out of control shit, man. A great example of Tellerico's odd behavior... I already sort of brought that up. Tellerico's behavior may be catching up with him and in television entertainment. As pointed out in the Arts Tech report, an investor video recorded on March saw Tellerico boasting about hiring the co-founder of Arts. Heard about all that. Jay Allard really didn't have as much to do with it, and it was kind of misleading. All right, so yeah. The console was moderately successful, and after that, the rights of the Intellivision went all over the place, and he got his hands on it in 2018. Yes. We want simplicity, he told VentureBeat in an interview. There is no system where young and old and non-gamers can play together. Yes, there is. I've talked about in the home. People play on mobile. It is still a very solitary experience. A few months later, in October, Intellivision Entertainment, a new company created by Tellerico, showed off the hardware. The Miko would feature a mix of remade classic and new exclusive games. All games would be 2D, and the controller, which features a touchscreen and motion controls, was designed to be easy to use. From day one, the people making the Amico have promised a simple console that moms will be able to trust and with some old school legacy to boot. This sounds familiar. That's because this isn't the first time we've seen an old video game company get resurrected and turn into a brand that can help ship a console, excuse me. Atari did this with the VCS, which is shit. Eventually, one of these years, that review will come. I think that's kind of an evergreen review, so I have other stuff I have to review first that's time sensitive. Atari did this with the VCS, releasing a PC-in-a-box console in 2020 with underpowered garbage PC-in-a-box console that can no way, in terms of graphical or computing performance, compare to even the Xbox Series S. Like, you run the user interface. In the Atari VCS at 4K, the frame rate drops significantly. It's just the user interface. Before that, Coleco tried and failed. Yeah, but asterisk there. Remember, I was in Texas when I covered that too. God, it's one of those. I remember where I was working too. Before that, Coleco tried and failed with its Coleco in 2016, a venture resulting in a transparent prototype with a mostly empty case. There was even a non-functional capture card stuck inside of it. Yeah, you skipped a lot about Mike. You went from like A to Z with none of the letters in between, but yeah, you're right. Compared to those past attempts, and look, I still think there's plenty of problems with the fucking Amico, and I think things are looking worse for it each day, especially now with major websites kind of pushing bad press about it and Tommy not helping the whole situation, and it's getting grimmer and grimmer. But comparing, Mike Kennedy was a fucking more of a snake oil salesman. What exclusive games are coming to the Amico? After showing the Amico in 2018, Intellivision didn't share too much more until a new trailer was released in August for Gamescom 2019. Here for the first time, folks will be able to see multiple Amico games, including Shark, and an updated take on Breakout developed by Choice Provisions, studio behind the Bit Trip series. The games look fine, though some, myself included, noticed they looked a lot like what you might find on mobile devices and tablets, or Flash games from 2006, but that's just me. Over the next few months, Intellivision showed off more gameplay footage of the same lot of games. Some of these titles, like the new Breakout, looked great. Others looked decidedly less great, with some more appearing to be nothing more than rough prototypes of low-budget mobile ports. Then on August 5th, the company released an hour-long video featuring new games on things and things get a bit confusing. Evel Knievel popped up, Amico's big August 5th showcase. The 2D features motorcycle platforming, similar to what you might find in the Trials series. It looks nice, with some colorful visuals and bold UI elements. Turns out Evel Knievel was released back in 2015 for iOS and Android. It would later be revealed that this port would include a new multiplayer mode, but again, this is still mostly a 6-year-old phone game. Let me answer the super chats here. Finnegan Fox, my jaw's hitting the ground. Also, I missed your last super chat.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
Let me see where it's at, DBZ. Burger King, sir, it's not that big of a deal. DSP, fuck you. Give me my chicken. Do I even have that anymore? I don't even have that anymore. I
don't give a shit!
There you go. Yeah, pretty much, dude. Why doesn't anyone care about the Commodore? This was the biggest fart on Earth. Yeah. Well, someone actually owns the name Commodore and they're doing weird shit with it. Aren't they like making like actual gaming PCs and just slapping like a Commodore logo on them because, you know, that's what everyone's just dying for in 2021. Anyway. Hold on one second. Okay. Glasses off for 5. Dude, no. I'm not doing that kind of stuff, bro. I'm not doing that kind of stuff because then it'll just get silly and the streams will lose their functionality. You get what I'm saying? Like, so anyway. This is far from only the mobile port to be show. This is far from the only mobile port to be showcased on the Amico. A port of Mobile Care Bears Kart Racer has also been announced for the console. But even worse than free mobile games getting ported to be sold for money are the Sesame Street edutainment games, meant for kids to learn new stuff. However, the 3 games that make up the collection are not new. At one point, they were Flash games that were originated on the Sesame Street official website. In fact, you can play them right now via this link. It seems very unlikely that these games will feature any new content or modes, so how are these exclusive to the Amico is currently unknown. You think a console due out nearly a year ago would have some completed games, or at least something different to show after that much time has passed, but new videos released by Intellivision continue to reuse old footage of games that were first shown off back in 2019. A new, quote-unquote, trailer released in 2021 seemed to be mostly the same trailer that was released in 2019, with only a few minor edits. Oddly enough, the promise of every Amico game being exclusive remains in the new version. Socks off for 10. Oh, dude. No, there has been no restitution. There has been no resolution. That man is chickenless in Seattle. He is. That man, he needs his chicken. DSP needs his fucking chicken, man. That's some good shit. No, it's really not, but it's has bubbles and... I'm just a man on the internet. All right. The console actually ain't cheap, or worth the price. In March 2021, Intellivision started taking pre-orders, except here, the price tag went from $180 to $250 to $300. Depending on which edition of the console you wanted. While the console does come with 2 controllers and 6 games, it's still fairly steep, especially when compared to modern-day consoles. And looking at the games that are planned for this console, including mobile ports and even an edutainment Flash game, it's hard to see how anybody outside of super fans of Intellivision would be tempted to buy this machine, let alone pre-order it for $100. But the price becomes even wilder when you learn what's inside the console. According to a report from Ars Technica published in June 2021, the Amico is basically as powerful as a $100 Android phone released back in 2016. In Intellivision's own words, before listing the nitty-gritty specs and details for people making content for the console, Ars Technica found this message for devs. We found the ZTE ZMAX Pro Z981, Snapdragon 617, Adreno 405 is a good benchmark test as it runs just a little slower than the Amico hardware. I mean, I understand the games are trying to put on there, but... Oh, Jesus. Why is my editor messaging me? What does he want? Is he naked? He says, Jason Hu from JKB, tomorrow, slap my on-camera hard. I don't know what that means. Mail your ass to me harder. How can I mail my ass to my editor? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. So that launched in 2016. So basically they have a potato powering the Amico, which even for the games they're trying to do, like what I just said about the Atari VCS. Okay, I don't expect it. It's I know it's a low-end chipset, but they went like bottom of the barrel Zen Plus dual core 4-thread. Can't even run the UI of the a VCS at 4K. It starts to frame stutter. Think about that. Anyway. The ZTE ZMAX Pro was released back in 2016 at a price point of $100 unlocked. According to Intellivision, the kind of performance devs can expect out of the Amico is on par with a phone released 5 years ago. It gets worse. The report from Sang Blebedepperter further explains how limited in power the Amico's controllers might be. Again, from that publicly available dev portal, the controller's capacitive touchscreen will measure 3.2 inches diagonally with a pixel resolution of 320 by 240 pixels and a refresh rate of 15 to 30 FPS. Don't care about the resolution. Why the low refresh? What the fuck? Even more worrying than that, while these controllers are built with a second screen, everything designed for the controller's screen must not exceed 1 megabyte. I've heard of this before. That includes all sounds, images, and code. Based on these limits, except mostly static and simple menus, with little in the way of animation or additional gameplay. Amico does have plans to offer an app for phones that will let people play with their friends using a mix of Amico controllers and smartphones, but we don't know when this app will be available for customers. The Ars Technica report also estimated a rough total cost of the chips and parts to make up the Amico. In total, the innards of the machine cost Intellivision around $50, and they are turning around and selling this thing for $250 to $300. I don't think the pre-orders would shoot up 10%. I don't think DB's saying that socks off for 10. Oh, I think I already answered you. Yes. No. Also found in that dev portal is a series of design rules, presumably created by Tommy Tallarico and labeled as the 10 Commandments of Game Design. Oh, I heard this before. Just like he is creating his 10 Commandments. He is Moses. Creating the 10 Commandments of game design like he's Shigeru Miyamoto. Oh, God. Here, Tellurico lays out what makes a good Intellivision game, including rules such as every game must be 2D or 2.5D. 3D models okay, but no free-roaming 3D worlds. And no in-game purchasing or DLC. The last one might sound like a nice thing to many, but considering digital Amico games can only be sold for $10 or less, it might make it hard for devs to turn a profit, especially with how much of a cut that Intellivision takes. What will definitely make it harder to actually make money on this platform is that Intellivision takes a huge, takes a huge cut of all profits. In a video from March 2021, Tellurico told investors that he estimates the company will take around 50% of all third-party game sales revenue. Compared to that, the already iffy 30 to 50% Apple takes from game devs, and Intellivision looks downright greedy. When asked about this number in July 2021 in an interview with Nintendo Life, Tellurico said that all deals would vary, but oddly didn't deny the percentage or offer any other numbers. We're done, so. Yeah, this is like teetering near like Soulja Boy levels of questionable practices. After all this, it's not surprising that the Amico has suffered 3 delays, with the most recent happening, gotta clean my glasses again, in August. And while COVID-19 has certainly played a factor in the delays, it seems apparent that other factors are at work here too. While I wouldn't go so far as to call this a scam, Tellurico's leadership has created a shitty situation for anyone who has pre-ordered the system, if not developers interested in making something for the hardware. All right, goddamn glasses. I got it, man. I either want the eye surgery. I heard is shit. Fucks up. Like it stops working after 5 years. So I should get contacts though. Anyway, it was a tall order from the get-go, of course. Well, Nintendo and to start parted the trend of retro-inspired consoles with the mega popular mini NES back in 2016. You meant the NES Classic. Others haven't found nearly as much success, and that was because it had like the old classic games that like everyone who's a boomer my age knew about. That's why it was successful. It wasn't that they made like a mini console and made a platform out of it. Past attempts at retro consoles and cheap Android-powered machines like the Ouya have consistently failed to make a splash once they reach retail shelves and consumers. Even Valve's attempt at pseudo console was a big flop. I explained why. That's for a different reason, though. That was because they gave people too many options. And considering that family-friendly games are available on Steam, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, I'm just not sure who will be willing to fork over $250 plus for the Amico. And he's right, man. Who wrote it? Who wrote this? Jesus, that was a long read. By Zach Swisen. He's right. Tommy's big mouth has hurt the reputation of the Amico quite a bit, too. You just gotta, like, you know, I mean, I even know that my big mouth has hurt my main YouTube channel. But on top of it, too, I'm not the CEO of a company selling a product. I'm just a personality on the internet. Like, I've said for a while, like, look, Tommy doesn't want to step down. You don't have to step down. That's fine. But the investor should say, yo, he needs to stop what he, like, they need to pull his phone out of his hands, and he needs to stop going in forums and stop going on social media. I haven't seen him doing it as much. Honestly, I haven't paid attention to him. Maybe he is. You know? And the thing is, too, like the article, like, I think it was, the Giant Palm Chop podcast, and Jeff Gertzman was on there, and like, it's not like the Amico has the brand recognition that Atari does. Solid review today, Rich. I'm killing you on the Soldier Boys. Yeah, I can't believe I was actually playing I was playing fucking PUBG, and it was like borderline unplayable, but I was still like actually killing people. I was there, and everyone was shirtless for some fucking reason. That one I have no idea what the fuck was up with that. Rich, I have a fun video to share that may be worth making a video. There's a video. The room has been locked for almost 20 years. Lots of vintage games found in an abandoned house. Okay, send it to me on Twitter. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that video is doing that well. I mean, like when I said, what the hell? Hold on one second. But yeah, like I said, when that video was as long as it was, sorry, my editor sent me something. I had to check it out. I kind of thought it was, even though it was about the Soldier Boy console, I'm like, shit, it's 27. When he told me it was 27 minutes, I'm like, all right, is what it is. You know, usually long videos, people usually say, fuck that. Doesn't matter what it's about. Like, someone from the future came to me, if there is even going to be a PS6, and handed me the PS. Like, Mark Cerny from the future could have handed me a PS6, and if I made a 30-minute video on that, there's still a chance that I'm exaggerating. Obviously, that would get views, and that would be insane. But you get my point. And yeah, that's impossible. That's not going to happen. But I'm just making an as if weird example. But no, it's actually viewing okay. It's actually doing above average for a video in general, let alone a long video. So you reviewed tech in the USA today. Yes, I'm going to do it again. I got to review the BenQ monitor that I was sent. What else do I have coming up? Man, I got a lot of stuff coming up too. I actually bought a capture card to capture some 4K gameplay. I'd like to do a couple big reviews. Let me see here. Why is it not even sending? You know what, man? So do Samsung monitors. This LG monitor I have here has issues. They all the monitors are built like fucking hot garbage. They just are. I've had bad luck with all my I had an issue with my other LG. Remember the big ass LG monitors that were actually probably better for this set because the screens weren't as reflective. However, one of those monitors had an issue. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on with monitors. I've had Asus monitors that have, every brand I fucking had of monitors has had issues. I've had a Scepter monitor. TV I actually had that, but thing still works great. But the Scepter, I had a Scepter monitor that I understand it's a cheaper brand. But every brand I've had has had fucking issues. Every brand I've had has had issues with monitors. They're all built like shit, and they're all my ass. Oh, yeah, dude. The LG C1, or LG, one thing you'll notice is that there's, like, the lag, you feel it's so much less on OLED. That's one thing I will say about OLED is lag is very minimal. Very, very minimal. I just dumped a 2008 LG 50. What was it, man? That must have been plasma. But no, even the LCD monitors, I could take these off for now. Even the LCD monitor, holy man, my voice sounds so much different with the headphones off. Even LCD monitors were heavy back then. I remember I had a Polaroid, because back then they weren't, ever had luck with I've never had a ViewSonic monitor, or have I? I don't think I have. I think I have never had a ViewSonic monitor, to be honest with you. But old LCD monitors used to be backlit by fluorescent bulbs. You want to talk about shitty, real shitty black levels? Man, anything black looked gray or looked like milk. But I will say that monitor got me through some, when I was dead broke. That wasn't even a monitor. That was a Polaroid TV. And it was HD, quote-unquote, TV. Didn't even have HDMI on it. That's how old it was. I got that actually in 2005. And yeah, it was 720p or 1080i, because they always used the bigger number because it sounded more alluring and that. But that was heavy too. That was heavy as fuck because that had fluorescent back bulbs, so it was thick and heavy. Like me. So, yeah, they were pretty heavy too. They were pretty heavy too. Plasmas were fucking heavy. Now with like the LED backlight TVs, or OLED TVs, they weigh fucking nothing. I sent you a clip of Muda. Okay. So yeah, I've had like monitors, TVs. I have even like that Scepter TV is still going strong. It's used every day. I gave it to somebody, but they use it every day. The Hisense TV is fucking fantastic. But in terms of monitors, man. Yeah, plasmas did have nice black levels. They did. But they were fucking heavy and they were hot. They were heavy. Like, that was part of the thing that kept TV sizes back. Because until they had could make them light enough. I mean, CRTs, forget about it. I think they tried. I think it was Mitsubishi who made like tried to make like a 65-inch CRT, but it was too fucking heavy. When they tried to ship it, it would break, and the thing would just. There was other technical problems with it, so they were like, "Yeah, abort." Then even plasmas, yeah, okay, they became flat. They were still thick boys though. They were heavy as shit, so you couldn't make like imagine having an 80-inch fucking plasma or a 75-inch plasma. You would need to hire like an entire neighborhood to help you move that shit around. Dude, I remember the 42-inch that my parents had in their living room. I used to have to help my dad because he had to fix that TV like 75 fucking times. Man, that was like a workout afterwards. Okay, Disney Aviation Coaster, thank you. So that's what really held back fucking TVs, man, in terms of size, because they were so fucking heavy. They were so fucking heavy. But now it's like you can like lift a fucking 80-inch OLED with like 2 fingers. I'm exaggerating, but you get what I'm saying. My opinions on IMAX. I mean, they're cool. I like what they did. Now they're using the same chip that they're using in their iPad Pros and their MacBooks, that M1 chip. But they're cool. They look cool. I just don't have a need for them. I just don't have a need for IMAX. I am getting the iPad Mini, the new one. I'm excited about that. To have that much computing power and something that's bigger than a phone screen. But I'll eventually probably get the iPhone 13, but I'm not running out the door to buy that thing. I was actually most excited for the iPad Mini. It was an LG Full HD 2008. It was so heavy to dump it. It cost me $4 to dump 100 pounds. It was embarrassing seeing other light TVs people were dumping. Yeah, dude, plasmas were fucking heavy. Now, they were beautiful, but now with like OLED, it kind of makes plasma unnecessary. But, yeah, they were nice, but they were hot, they were heavy, and that's why you couldn't have. Imagine having an 80-inch plasma. You know how fucking heavy that would be? I saw 120 hertz CRT PC gaming monitor selling for $700, but well, yeah, of course. Those things are like, they're becoming coveted now. They're becoming coveted. Hey, Rich, you hear that Roger Stone got served with Capitol Riot lawsuit live on a radio show? What's your thoughts? Let's have many... I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, dude. Been out of the loop lately, so sorry that I'm late breaking on this, but what are your thoughts on the Apple and Epic ruling? I'll give you my take in a second. I got to use the little boy's room. I do apologize. My hole needs to be emptied. I will be right back. Enjoy this. My cup went over, but there was nothing in it. It was just a fart. It was just a fart. Well, didn't it wasn't really as much of a win. It kind of was Apple took a kick in the nuts, because didn't the judge rule that apps can actually, like, if you have in-app purchases, it doesn't have to be through the App Store? I'm pretty sure. Is the song still going? Yes, it is. Sorry. I'm sorry. So, it wasn't really that much of a win, man. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of... Sup, Rich? I usually watch the archived versions of your streams while I'm working on stuff, but since I caught you live, I thought you cost to show you some coins. Some dollars. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I am a man with an ass. I'm 24 and a virgin. Is that bad? No. Lose it when you're ready, man. Don't lose any sleep over it, dude. It's a true saying. There are plenty of fish in the sea. And do not hire a hooker. It's not worth it. Moved my sister recently. We gave her an old 65-inch plasma. Carrying that thing was absolutely brutal. 2 juicy farts, please. Whoa! Oh! Whoa! Oh! Yeah, it's not a big deal, dude. Like, don't let people rag on you for that shit, too. And I know people, like, oh, I'm going to go get, like, no, do not get a hooker. You know, I mean, look, I personally believe that prostitution, the oldest trade that's been out there, should be legal. If people want to pay and someone is willing to perform a sexual service for someone else paying, I don't understand. It's not going to stop prostitution, no matter how you feel about it. It's not going to stop it. And if it wasn't illegal, the women would be able to get better medical treatment and less at risk and not get hurt. And anyway, I'm kind of getting political, but you know, but I'm going down a. I mean, my personal take on it is I would never, even if it was legal, couldn't hire. I want someone to actually want to engage in a sexual act with me. Call me crazy. I don't want to pay someone. And they're like, all right, here. I just find that weird. But that's me. But hey, if it was legal, that would mean the women could be protected. They could get better medical treatment. But anyway, why am I even going down that? Why am I even going down that road? Yeah, someone said boobs feel great. I agree. Boobs are wonderful. I don't think anybody here would disagree with that. Bad take USA. So prostitution's illegal federally. Yes. Does it stop prostitution? You know what it does is that it creates where people have, and then they get abusive pimps, and then they're subjected to crazy men in the streets. Whereas if it was legalized, which it's never going to go away anyway, you know, it's not like people bring up, oh, why don't we just make robbing banks legal? Like, no, that would break down the system. What is someone paying someone else for a sexual service? How does that break down the system? It's totally different. How did prohibition work out too? How's the war on drugs working out? How's that winning strategy going? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. How's that working out for you? It's not like there's drug cartels all over the world, especially in Mexico, that are ruthless and murdering. And it's not like there's corruption that has overtaken the Mexican government to the point that if judges rule anything, the judges get shot in the head. There was a Mexican judge going for a jog. Some dude that worked with the cartels went right up behind him and went pop. If they've assassinated politicians that were looking to take them down. How's that war on drugs? Please tell me. Got people doing life in prison in California because of marijuana charges because they got 3 strikes. Come on, son. It's silly. It's dumb. Red-pilled gamer, thank you very much. So those... I didn't even know they had a 65-inch plasma. Motherfucker. She was probably better off just getting thank you again, Red Pilled. She was probably better off getting a fucking new TV, because that thing is probably older. It's eventually going to break. How old is it? Probably like... Ali is probably like 8 years old, right? Anyway. Oh, yeah, the 3D TV craze. Yeah, let's get off that political shit because it just pisses people off anyway. 3D TVs I always knew were going to be... As soon as you had to ask people to put on something extra like this, It wasn't going to work. Even with the passive ones where you didn't have to have like the powered glasses, wasn't going to work. Talk about war on drugs. My commander called in everyone today to do a drug test in my squadron when we have over 500 plus. Who the hell do notice drug test on Sunday? Everyone are drunk at 3 a.m. Dude, it's, I mean, look, I could see not wanting someone under the influence in situations like that. Or like, you know, alcohol's legal, but federally too, but you're not going to want someone to come into work and start drinking in the bathroom. I get that. But in terms of like the war on drugs is a fucking failure. It's an absolute failure. And there's in for-profit prisons love it because, hey, people are filling up the jail cells. Cha-ching. I'm oversimplifying it. I know. Why is the chat too fucked? What's going on? Dude, it's bots. It's just, it's what it is, man. They're in all the fucking chats. If you go to any live stream, there's bots. Yes, I have both consoles, and they are fucking fantastic. You know. I don't mean to get deep and political and... Yeah, it's a prison and there's for-profit prisons. Why the fuck are prisons for-profit? And how there has to be a... Oh, shit. Look what I'm doing here. I'm breaking my fucking microphone. There has to be there's an incentive for these for-profit prisons to have people locked up. There's a motherfucking incentive because if there's people in the jail cells, they make money. Obviously, I'm looking forward to Halo Infinite. Cautiously looking forward to it. I don't even know what the hell else is coming out this fall. I am going to be reviewing some shit, probably the bigger ones, the bigger games, because that's why I bought this. Matter of fact, I'm going to set this up tomorrow. And I got 128 gigabyte card, 4K 60S. How late am I streaming? I don't know. I don't know if I'm still torn if I'm going to support Vanguard or not. I almost skipped on streaming tonight, and I was like, I'm going to play Chivalry because I've been using that monitor, and I have the Razer computer hooked up to the BenQ monitor, which I'm liking. I'm going to have there's some caveats with it, but I'm liking. And I was just about to... I was playing Bloodstained Betrayal Fresh Bites on the Switch before. And I was like, what was I playing before that? I was playing Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition for whatever fucking reason. And that was actually ran nice and smooth too. But obviously it's a 3080 and an 8-core processor. But I was like, I feel like playing some Chivalry too. And then I was like, I'm going to stream. Because I knew if I started playing it, then I wouldn't. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. And it just doesn't look good either. The next COD does not look good. I still enjoy playing Modern Warfare 2019 the most. It just doesn't look good. And then after all the shit that happened, it's like I keep going back and forth if I want to support. You know what I mean? 2021 is going to be insane. Yeah, it really doesn't look good, man. It doesn't. It doesn't look. It doesn't look good, Vanguard. Well, yeah, you're going to see a lot of games coming out in 2022 because of the pandemic that we're supposed to. Now they even delayed Dying Light 2. Got to get a new. Either got to grease this boom arm or get a new one. Dying Light 2 got delayed again. Horizon Forbidden West. The list goes on. God of War Ragnarok. Yo, there is, I think I saw on the relaxing end, there is like $1,000 steering wheel. I'm not getting it. I don't have the room for it. If anything, I'm trying to get rid of shit. But I was like, yo, if I'm playing a racing, because that's the thing. To me, it's like when you play a racing game and you're just like, I mean, you could say the same thing, Rich. It's like when you play Call of Duty. It's not like you're running around going like this. I get it, but you'd want, like, with a game, if I feel like that you need that one-on-one with a racing game. Like, when I play on a controller, it's just with a racing game, whereas with a steering wheel, it's like you're actually, and it has like crazy feedback, but it's the price of 2 PlayStation 5s. It's $1,000, man. Legalize everything. Had let Darwin take over. That's too black and white, dude. I'm selling my 32-inch monitor, 160 f 4K 60 32 monitor for a no. Why would you? I would rather have a 1440p 165 hertz monitor any day of the week. 1440p, especially at that resolution too, is fine. And the higher refresh rate just feels so good. I mean, unless you're doing something where you're like, look, I want, it's like an OLED monitor or something, like, no, I would stay with the 1440p 165 hertz, man. Any day, all fucking day. Yes, Rising Sun. You remember I used to do those with the original Dying Light. What's your view? Holy super chats, Batman. I'm going to spread my cheeks and go to town. It's just all came in at once. So, I could give a fuck about, and as this is a person with a fold phone, yes, it's 120 hertz. I should go get that screen because my camera is good enough that you can kind of see how it's only 24 FPS, but still. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go do that. Yeah, I'll stream for a little bit more, you fuckers. I'll stream. Let me go get my fold. And I'm not talking about the fold underneath my man breast, you disgusting human beings. Look at a bird. Look at a bird. I'll be right back. I enjoy 120 hertz too. I do enjoy it. But if I go back to like my 60 hertz iPhone 12 Pro Max after going to 120, I get used to it in 2 seconds, and it's like, all right, it's a cool feature, but I don't need it. Why am I feel like I'm rapping right now. I got a bird. He lays a turd. That's my word. All right. So in awkward situations in real life, I ask myself, what would Rich do? Sadness follows as I realize I don't have a mic to fart into. Can I get to... I think that's what you want, right? So I don't have any. So anyway. What my point being is, the screen's on here. Yes, that's my dog looking like he's about to murder me. Are fucking gorgeous. And the high refresh rate is nice. However, when I go back to, yes, this is a Z Fold. Yes, this is my dog looking like he's about to rip my face off. He looks like he has a knife. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Love it. Beautiful screen. Really responsive. I go back to 60 on a phone screen, though. I'm fine with it. So that's my point. Like, that's not the biggest seller to me. I rather, if Samsung could have made these panels 60 And the cameras are good on here. They're not as good as my iPhone 12 Pro Max. They're good, but if they could have put better sensors in here to give me the same quality video and pictures, even though these do a good job as my iPhone 12 Pro Max, I'd rather have had the 60. You know, like 120 is cool, but like on the iPad Pro, I appreciate it more. On a gaming or on a computer monitor or on a 4K TV with high refresh rates, I appreciate it more. On phones, I can live without it. That's just my take. That's all. But I have a small penis, so don't listen to me. I want the Review Tech Breast Fold 3. That would be expensive. Rich, do you think the chip shortage is holding up current gen because so many people I know are still on Xbox? No. But we're still in that even if there was an abundance of consoles, man, we're still in that cross-gen period. You got to realize they were still making games. I mean, the consoles came out in 2013, the 8th gen consoles. They were still making games well into 2015 for the previous gen. You know, for the 7th gen consoles. I did a sponsored video, it was not a review, of the Oculus, not the Quest. It was the, I forgot what his name. It was the last headset they actually had before now they just totally are into the portable headsets. It was good. I liked it quite a bit. It was meant for PC. What do I have this on? Oh. So that was, man, I'm out of liquids again. God damn it. Remember the PS3 360 version of Black Ops 3? Yeah, where it was like absolutely, it was just multiplayer, right? Because it was Black Ops 4 that essentially was just multiplayer, and it was like the worst. Like the 360 and PS3 could have made a better multiplat than that. You know what I'm saying? But they just basically were like, all right, whoever is still left on these consoles, let's just make a little money and give them a horrible product and make them move on. You know what's funny is I re-downloaded Days Gone again to play on the BenQ. I know I told him I would get him a video early this week. It'll probably have to be later this week because I need to do more tests on it. But yeah, I mean, the screen on here is it is the best screen I've seen on any device ever. Both this panel and the fold out panel, without a doubt. Shout out to Bruno again. Best looking screens I've ever seen. But, you know, if they could have cut back on the refresh rate of those screens and it would cost them less money and they could have put better cameras in here, that's the choice that I would have made. But other people are different. Still, they're more than capable cameras and video taking features on here. Rich, you know the truth. The Intellivision Soldier Boy are eating into the market so much that Sony and Microsoft just gave up, and that's what's going. Yeah, they're just like all the companies are making chips for the Intellivision and the Soldier consoles. There's like that's where the demand is. Facts. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they're using a similar panel on the Flip 3, Charles. Charles in charge of our nights. I don't remember the name of how the song went. Carl's be like, look at me. I'm a... Oh, shit. That's why everyone's talking about the bird. This case is actually pretty cool, too. It came with... The case I have for here is the VRS design. It's actually pretty, like, it had like, oh, put your sticky tape on this phone and then you put the, like, no, I'm not putting sticky tape. Either the case stays on without it, the fucking tape, or I'm not using it. But you don't need the tape. It's soft inside too, so it's not going to scratch up your fold. And what's nice about it too is that it has a kickstand, so now my angry dog, that's actually pretty fucking cool. You could sit there and make video calls and shit like that. It's nice. That's actually pretty... It is nice having the screen real estate, too. I will say that as well. One thing that's dumb about this case, though, is that, say I want to turn off my fold with the screen open, which I guess you shouldn't do, because it's a softer screen. You have to lift up the... You actually have to take the phone up because the buttons are on the bottom side where the kickstand comes out. Or I could just do this. I could just, because I have my other tablet stand here. I could just put it right here. There we go. Excellent viewing. I like this tablet stand. It's sturdy and you can hold anything on it. That's what I pay monthly for the warranty for that thing. So don't worry. If it falls, I could just get a new one. Do you find it hard to use certain apps with the square aspect ratio? No. You just have, what you'll have is just the bars, the black bars. I forgot what it's called on top and on the bottom. I can't think of it right now. This is a man stream. You're goddamn right. This is a man stream. So it's not that big a deal. And then you could just stretch it out to fill the screen. Yeah, cut some of the aspect ratio or some of the content off. But if you don't care, like I said, you'll just have the bars on the top and the bottom. You move me so much, I'm not pecking your hole tonight, sir. Letterboxing, thank you. I couldn't think of it. Letterboxing. So, no, it doesn't bother me. You know, especially as a person who, gonna watch, uses tablets. It doesn't bother me at all. Like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I love this phone. It's fucking awesome. But for the average, there's no way I could recommend this to the average person, though. There's just no way. Dude, you drop this thing once, even, like, what is a case gonna do with a screen, with a bending screen that's fragile and everything? Look how many moving parts there has to properly be here for this phone to do this. Like, think about that. That is a display that has to bend. You have you have like a mechanism in here with brushes. You have two different panels here. Then you have the panel in front. It's just nothing you could do unless, like, you put, like, encase the entire thing in like a big foam square, and anytime it's like you have half a square and then you have to put the phone in, and like you put the other piece on top and just carry around this big square block to protect the phone. And even then, it falls hard enough, it could, like, it's folding tech. They're going to have to figure out a way to make it durable for the masses. Most people that I know, even people that take care of their technology, that dog's face is just priceless. They're just not gonna, like, the average person. It was Adam Ragusa. He actually has a cool cooking YouTube channel, which I watch a lot of those because it gives me, as I become a boomer, I'm interested in cooking. Anyway, he has a great quote for technology, even though he's not a tech channel, but it's one of the best ones I ever heard. The technology has to work for me. I shouldn't have to work for the technology. I think I might be paraphrasing it slightly, but that's actually a very excellent, but that nonetheless, that's the context of, and he's right. This technology is not at the point yet where it works for you. You have to baby it and work for it. And that's, I mean, they've made it more durable. Now this is each panel, each of these side pieces, not the hinge. They have the hinge where it's like they have a coating on it to protect against water damage. These are water, the two panels or pieces are water resistant, but it's not dust resistant. This thing is going to have zero chance of surviving any drops. So you have to work for the technology. Like my iPhone 12 Pro Max, I don't think about it. You know what I mean? I just use it. It's that simple, you know? And that's what folding phones need. I think there is a future with these. I do. At first I was like, fucking needs a folding phone, but now I see it. You know, you open this up, and then especially when a lot more apps start taking advantage of that screen real estate, when there's a bigger market. Even with apps now, there are apps that already take advantage of it. You know, it's a big deal, but it's not there yet. My boss is trying to get me fired. She is looking into my time card all the time. Fucking HR is talking with me, and I tell you she wants... Why? You just have to ask. Dude, I don't know you personally. Is there something that happened that maybe they're doing it? Why would they single you out? There has to be a reason behind it. I'm not saying it's a proper reason. So, yeah, I mean, the phone is absolutely amazing. It's one of the coolest pieces of tech I've ever owned, hands down. And it is exciting, and I do see a future with it. We are just not there yet. And the battery life, like just opening this and looking at the screen, the battery life went down 2%. So, you know, because it's a huge, think about it. It's a huge screen that's running at a high refresh rate. It's going to gulp down power. A lot of things they got to do first. A lot of things they got to do. Thank you, Alan, for the cup of coffee. I mean, and there's things like Apple still has a notch. Apple moves slow. They don't care anymore anyway, at least. I guess you could argue that they used to and now they don't because they were the first to have like the Retina display and they were first to just say, fuck it, we're just going to have a whole screen be the interface, and if people want to put keyboards on them, they design them with the app or they use our built-in software keyboard, blah, 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 blah. But Apple likes to make sure, usually, I know there's exceptions, that the technology is established enough. Because one of the things, I think I could even show it here. Let me get something up on the screen to make a good example of it. I'll turn up like not Samsung Pay. Let me get like a bright YouTube video up and I'll show you. Let me get like a blue color, not Blue's Clues. Here we go. I'll show you what I mean. I'm not just going crazy here. If you look here, like the under display, let me not imagine I drop this right now. You see that right here? Can you see it? I'm trying to see if you could see it. You'll see it's like pixelated right there. Am I pointing to the right spot? Yes, I am. Just doesn't look. I don't know if you saw it or not, but they have pixels. Like they have the camera under the screen, so they could so Samsung can say we finally have like I know there's other places that have done it too, but we have an under the screen camera, but there's screen there. It's not just a punch hole, but it's pixelated. It's lower resolution over the camera, and they had to drop the quality of the camera back. So now it doesn't even take. You can only do 1080p video with the front-facing camera. Like that's something I just don't see Apple doing. And as much as I think it's kind of ridiculous to still have any kind of notch in 2021, I was about to say 2013 because I'm thinking of the iPhone 13. If it means that you still get the badass 4K 60 front-facing camera, which the iPhone 12 Pro Max even does. Even the 11 Pro Max, I believe, was 4K 60 for the front-facing camera. Yes, it's not as good as a sensor in the back, but you could do plenty of content creation with this, and that to me is pretty cool. So, did you guys see the pixelization? I don't know. I mean, this is a good camera, but maybe because it was... So, I mean, this is an awesome product, man. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I think, like, to me, honestly, like, I look at the pixelated picture over where the camera is because they're trying to cover up the camera. It almost looks like it's defective. I mean, obviously, it's not. You know why they have it's lower res there, but... It's like, just have the fucking punch hole. If it means you could put the fucking punch hole there and have a much better sensor on the, front-facing camera, that's what I'd rather have. You know what I mean? So, put this here. I feel like it's like the Rolex of fucking phones, but... I don't even know what the hell who's Gabby Petito. I don't even know what the hell. Is that girl who went missing and there was like a video of like the cops camera about her? So Apple, my point being, is that they want to wait until they could have an under the screen camera where there's no punch hole, where they can have like their face, because they also have the Face ID shit too, which when you have to wear masks when you go out places, I wish they had some kind of in-screen fingerprint. Wish they had both, because I do kind of Face ID. I do. I'm so used to it now. I like it, because like, say for example, it's just Face ID. You have the secondary option of under the screen. That shit's been good for a while now. Apple can't say anymore that, oh, the in-screen fingerprint sensors don't work right. Man, they work great. I have a ZTE Axon E too. I'm not flexing. I'm not flexing at all. Her body was found. Jesus. Yeah, like, so getting back to that guy who left the super chat before, it was just like, I rather go with a 1440p panel for a computer monitor and have the higher refresh rate. You know, if you told me you were doing mostly video editing and just gaming from time to time, and you wanted to get like a 4K 60 OLED computer monitor and you want the color accuracy, that makes sense. And then gaming on the side. The boyfriend murdered her. Oh, the world is so wonderful, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful out there? Isn't it wonderful? What I don't understand, look, I understand things are way more, and mental illness and spousal abuse is terrible. But why does it get to the point, and look, I've been in bad relationships, like, it hurts to walk away, but walk away. Why hurt anybody physically? Why? Just, why take someone else's life and ruin your own? You know, and then you watch like police activity, and then these people, like, they're like, the wife will call because the husband is being abusive, and they're calling justifiably so, and then they go to the house and the cop ends up, because they like attack the cop. Like, I guess you want suicide by cop. I know I'm going to a dark place here, but it just baffles me. It's like, how do you think this is going to end? Like, it's not Grand Theft Auto, dude. Like, it's not going to end with, okay, if God forbid I end up killing this cop and I just, you know, hide under a garbage can for 20 minutes, my 5 stars will go away. It's over. Like, but, you know, I guess the heat of the moment, it's really sad. It's really sad. You're thinking dude, they've been dead. There's a small, tiny super boomer market for them, but for what? I mean, the only thing that they're going to be for is, like, maybe you'll get those mini little super underpowered blades or whatever, where they could just run windows and if people need to do stuff for, like, offices, but that's it. You know? So, yeah, they're pretty much dead, man. Just walk away. I've been there. That's what I'm saying. Like, but I guess, like, they just, you know, I'm sure that sometimes there's drugs involved or alcohol, or they're just so in the heat of the moment. I mean, there was a video I was watching this dude on police activity. I can't show it here, obviously, but his wife, he was being abusive to his wife or a family member. It was a woman. And he walks away from the cop, and then, like, there's this other dude who's like 18 who comes out, like, the one dude who was abusive goes out on the balcony. You could tell he's pretending to be on the phone, and, you know, he's like giving the cop, he's like, he was speaking Spanish, he's like, telefono, I'm on the phone, like he was trying to use it as an excuse to, like, not interact with the cop, and the cop's like, you got to put the fucking phone down, you were just being abusive, like, you're under arrest, bro. Instead of, like, the 18-year-old goes up to the cop and, like, distracts him and, like, starts fighting with him physically, and the cop had to get into a physical altercation with him, and the other guy who was being abusive tries to take the cop's gun. Like, he got shot and killed. How did you think that was going to end? Like, you're trying, like, and I'm just like, for what? For what? Like, you're like, and there was a young kid there, so that kid has to, you know, he was probably like 2 or 3, so now he has to deal with that horror. That's going to psychologically scar him forever. You're even at that age, you're going to remember it. He doesn't have a father anymore. I think it was his kid, and granted, the only benefit is that you won't be able to be abusive to your wife anymore. I think it was his wife, and you're dead now. But you know, I guess it's psychosis. It's the heat of the moment. It's just, people are just bad fucking people too. But like, how do you think that's going to end? You get what I'm saying? Like, you're dead now, and that kid, you're abusive, and maybe it was for the better. I don't want to wish death on anybody, but you get my point. But you're dead now. That kid, if that was his kid, doesn't have a father, and now a family member's gone. For what? I don't know. But then again, there's some fucked up people out there, man. You know, I don't really, you know, I don't have a degree in psychiatric medicine. It just baffles me when I see that. There was another guy too. It was another domestic abuse where he was beaten. I think it was his girlfriend or wife, and he's giving the cops a tough time. How do you think it's going to end? And the cops are pointing guns at him, and he's sitting down at the bottom of the steps with a lead pipe, and the cops are like, "Put that down." No. He starts running at the cops with a lead pipe. What do you think was the outcome of that? And even though he was shot, this is why sometimes cops let off multiple shots. Keep in mind, I'm not, like, I saw the whole video of George Floyd. I believe that George Floyd was murdered, okay? I've always said that. But in this situation, it's like, this is why cops sometimes shoot off multiple shots. Because even after how the hell did I get here? But even after he was running up the steps and got shot, he still hit the cop with the bullets in him already, with the lead pipe, and knocked him out. Like, and again though, go beyond all that, it's like, you went from a domestic dispute, you'd probably face some jail time, but life would move on. But you rather have, I guess maybe that's what it is. Maybe like, this is my situation. I'm unhappy in my marriage, and I rather be the fuck out of here. And I can't kill myself. So suicide by cop. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I wish I could go into like their brain at that moment when they're choosing to, so I'm choosing death here, where that's a good decision, you know? I know I'm going into like some crazy shit. I don't know if they were on drugs or not. I have no idea, but you know, that's why it's like, oh, like in some situations, and I'm not going into this that deep, but some people I see are like, oh, why did they shoot so many bullets? Believe me, I've seen some of the videos where it's like, yeah, that was fucking excessive. Absolutely. But there's also some videos where it's like, the person's like unstoppable. Like, they've unloaded a clip in them and they're still running at them. So I sometimes get why that happens. Anyway, why am I going into this? You know? Yeah, let's just review the Peppa Pig game. Good point. I just always am baffled like that. Like, you rather go out that way than just, okay, yes, you were abusive to your wife and that, or girlfriend or whatever, or your mom. That's horrifying, but you just rather go out? Now that if you have a kid, they don't have a father? I don't know. My ex slapped me in the face. I had to hold myself because I knew what would happen if I acted back as a man. Violence doesn't matter. Male to female, female to male, male to male, female to if family members, significant others, doesn't matter, is always fucking wrong. And it has nothing to do. You just made the right choice in general, man. And he still hit Ike. He still, after he got shot, he still had the life in him to knock out the cop. The cop fell on top of him. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I got to piss, and it's a bit of a switch topic, but earlier you got me in the mood for some Dying Light, so I'm going to head out, take it. Yeah, have a good one, man. And if you have the Series X, or I'm thinking on the Series S, too, I think you can run at 1080p 60. So go try that. Yeah, I have to pee. I'm going to get something to drink, so I'm going to stream for a little bit more. You guys got me in a long, I don't know why. Got me in a long stretch tonight, so I'll be back. Hold on. Got it on PC, so you can run it up whatever the hell you want. Oh, shit. Just hit my desk. Random thought. Yeah. Try Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. Said the company is no more. The developer behind it. But it's a really good game. Did I lose my nails? I cut them. They were too long. I hate when they even get slightly long. It's like, say I like get out of the shower, and before because I have to shave my beard before I shower because I don't know, my hair is weird and it won't shave. And then like I'll like itch, and if I have any nails, it looks like there's fucking dirt under my nails, like I'm a scumbag. I don't get it. It's like I'm like, and all of a sudden it's like black. Seriously? So I have to cut my nails, or else I look like more of a degenerate than I actually am. No, I didn't drop the phone. The phone was flat on the table. Unless I flipped over the entire table, it didn't drop. I'm no fool. You think I would have left that thing unfolded on here? That would be like, imagine I like elbowed it and cracked the fucking screen. I shouldn't say that because one time I'll forget and actually do that. If two people of the same gender think that violence is the answer, then rather get into a fist fight than shoot. But violence shouldn't be the answer in any case, man. I'm drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. But it shouldn't lead to violence, period, man. I mean, you know, I mean, look, and I'm not saying, like, look, if you have to defend yourself, if someone needs to get knocked the fuck out to protect yourself, that's different. But why should a disagreement have to come to blows? That should be like self-defense, and the all other options are exhausted and I have to, you know? Can you give me a shot of Diet Doc? Yes, I can give you a cheer. There you go. Cheers. Non-alcoholic shot. Speaking of Pecker, where is Carlos? It's a good question. Get all this shit off my table. I cleaned this room and I'm going to keep it clean. These are the wipes for my glasses. Where's my glasses? As a gay man on small side dating is kind of... I could see that. Because there's still people that are homophobic that would try to... Yeah, that sucks, man. I don't get it. If it's... The only rule that I think there should be, if it's two consenting adults, two rules, consenting and adults, like, which means that both people have to agree and you have to be of legal age. What else matters? Like, who am I to judge you if it's two consenting adults? And I think it's gross. Like, if being with another, if you're a man, being another man makes you happy. If you're a woman, being with another woman makes you happy. If you're a man, being with a transgender woman makes you happy. Or if you're a woman, being with a transgender man makes you happy. If you're adults and it's consenting, who gives a shit? I don't understand what, but people do. And it sucks because you have to be afraid that someone's out. Like, didn't that happen one time where there was like some homophobic weirdo that was on a dating app purposely looking for guys that were gay to hurt them? I'm pretty sure that was a thing. Or something close to it. Like, what the fuck is wrong? If you're putting that much effort in, you're closeted. I'm sorry. You are closeted. You know what? People who are actually straight and not homophobic, I don't think about what other people, I don't care what other people are doing in their bedrooms. Your chat helped talk about my ex who hit me. Oh, Jesus, man. I thought it said TV, so I didn't mean to laugh at that. Yeah, dude, abuse happens in both directions, man. And I feel like guys, when they're abused, and I'm not even just talking physical, any kind of abuse, are shamed into talk, oh, you're a man, toughen up. Women can be malicious, man. Abuse is abuse. It doesn't matter the gender of the person who's the abuser. They're an abuser. Period. You know, and I feel like pedophilia is pedophilia. Child molestation it's always funny when you see these female teachers or whatever when this shit happens. Oh, they're so hot. If I was 14 and even if she was 28 and I would be okay with, like, they're still child molesters. Why is it because they're an attractive woman that it's like, oh, it's different? No, it's not. There shouldn't be a double standard with it. They're as monstrous as a guy who wanted it. They're as monstrous as Jared Fogle. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop that. Oh, man, I remember my English teacher was so hot. Like, no, it still is traumatizing. Like, it doesn't matter the gender of the molester. You know, like, get over that shit, man. And Zeb, I'm sorry that happened to you, dude. I thought, like, at first, like I said, I thought it said TV. I thought your ex hit the TV or something like that. Because we were talking about TVs before. Maybe she punched a plasma or whatever. But no, I'm sorry you were abused. Last chat. Why do you think it's okay for women to hit a man? No, I don't think it is. I personally don't. But he has to take it and push it away. Like I said, I just gave my take. Abuse in either direction is equally as disgusting. It doesn't matter, like I said, if it's Jared Fogle or there's so many, like there was that one blonde teacher. She was a very pretty woman and she slept with just a karate teacher. I was watching a video and she was like in her late 20s and she was like sending nudes to like a 12-year-old or 11 or 13, whatever. It's gross either way. To me, that karate teacher is just as disgusting. Well, Jared Fogle actually went further and screwed around with a bunch of underage kids, which I don't think she actually did that. but she's still a monster too, you know. It doesn't matter if you're a woman that's a woman that is a child molester should be held just as accountable as a man as a child molester, and a female abuser should be held just as accountable as a male abuser. It doesn't matter the gender of the hand that's slapping someone else. It's the physical act. So, you know, finally got a Galaxy Watch 4, lost in the post 3 days. Oh, Jesus. That's always scary, because here's what happens with that shit is when stuff gets lost in the post, then it's a matter of he said, she said, this company said, the Postal Service said, because it's like, well, they said they delivered it, so do you actually have it? Or you like they're thinking like you're trying to get a free one. Yeah, my wife verbally abused me I know other people that have told me hellish stories. I mean, I've had fallouts with exes. I mean, that's kind of how usually no one truly breaks up completely amicably. I'm not never violence, but I'm saying like you don't just go, oh, this relationship is great, but we're done. Like something had to happen there had to be a negative experiences or clashes for it to happen. But you know, I've never had like someone be straight up abusive though. Finally got my Watch 4, lost in the post 3 days. Verbal abuse, yeah, I've had some verbal abuse though. I mean, dude. No, I'm not reacting to Wing's dick pic. No. How did that get out there? Like, did he send that to like his wife or something and someone broke into, like, hopefully that wasn't the case. Like DSP with his, like, that's just an awful, your main YouTube channel, bro. Like, first off, uploading even unlisted or private to send you jiggling your junk around with your, again, you didn't see anything. He had boxers on, but he was jiggling it around for, I guess, one of his female fans to see. On your main, because you heard what happened with that, right? When something happened with his YouTube channel, and it got taken down, but then it got fixed by YouTube. So the videos that even were unlisted and private, I believe, became public. And there was a video up of DSP. I guess he was trying to show his manhood off to somebody. And he put it up on his main YouTube. And I unfortunately saw him jiggling around. And here we are talking about DSP. How did that even come up? Oh, because we're talking about Wings. Maybe I have a crush on DSP. Exposed. No, but kind of, so I'm going to be on for a few more minutes, but bringing this stream back home, like kind of ending with what I started with. Yeah, people were posting like, oh, we found DSP's bank documents and shit like that, and here's how much he has made here, and this is how much he has in his bank account, and this is how much he spent on, and it's like, dude, look, whether he's lying or not, it doesn't give you the right, doesn't matter. First off, you could get in some stats, you could get in some serious shit for. Secondly, he doesn't deserve that. Doesn't matter if he's lying about his financial situation or not. You don't have the right to go through. You're not the feds, you're not the IRS. You have no right to do that. And then you post it publicly online, shame on you. Without a doubt, shame on you. And as soon as I saw people replying with that, you know, so he should have his personal shit put out there because he's bitching about a chicken sandwich. As ridiculous and as funny as it is, no. His personal life, people should not be. You want to laugh at him because he's making a big deal about that? Absolutely. 110%. I think it's ridiculous. But does that mean I'm going to, like, post his address? But no. I don't understand. Like, where does those lines, where do people cross those? Oh, DSP's complaining about a chicken sandwich. Here's his bank statements. How did we get there? No, that's not okay. That is absolutely not okay. So, Michael, I'm very sorry about that too, man. That shit doesn't matter who's doing it, male or female. It's not being abusive to someone else is not acceptable. I had an ex stab me in the chest with a knife, but she said she was, oh. So you married her, right? That was a keeper. Holy shit, are you serious? Holy shit. Jesus, I'm glad you're okay, first and foremost. That kind of like just sunk in. It took a second. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. That just like, that left me fucking speechless, man. Damn. Yeah, abusive is abusive. And different topics mostly, but just because someone does dumb shit online does not mean you have the right to go into their personal life, to swat them, to put out their address, to like, no, just, you know, yes, it's very funny that he had a meltdown over a chicken sandwich. Leave it at that. And joke about it. It's funny. You know, like, I don't understand why people have to take it so fucking far. And what they don't realize, or they do realize, they don't care, they just want to see anarchy, is that when people are critical of other people, that's where that stigma of, oh, that means that they're sending their fans after me. No, it doesn't mean that. But then people could use that as ammunition, because when shit like that happens, they're like, oh, well, you know, this person was critical of this person. Next thing you know, their information's up online. So I guess being critical of someone is now considered bullying, but it's not. And when people do shit like that and go into people's personal lives, you perpetuate that anytime criticism comes out. Now criticism is an attack on them, and it's not. The ESPN doing a chicken sandwich on Pornhub. Oh, my. People are kept on saying it looked like someone came on a sandwich, which I'm like, I guess no one's seen. Maybe from different parts of the world, maybe mayonnaise isn't a thing. Maybe that's it. But, you know, it looked like honey mustard to me. If your sperm looks like honey mustard, you need to go to urgent care. Like, stop it. If you have honey mustard looking orgasms, you need to go to your nearest urgent care right now. Like, I don't know what yours looks like, but it shouldn't look like that. Oh, man. Yeah, it looked like melted cheese. It looked like barbecue sauce or whatever. Like, I don't understand what the big fucking deal about it was, man. You know, even with him. I don't like, especially like, this is unacceptable. I'm like, bro, it's fast food. It's not even really a step up from like that far of a step up from like cafeteria food at a hospital or prison food. Like, what do you I was brushing my teeth after the stream last night, just laughing, thinking about it, man. It's just so ridiculous that he just felt the need that it was that important, like that he needed to update the world on it. Update on this chicken sandwich situation. Like, everyone's just sitting there waiting with all the other shit that people have going on in their lives and all the other shit in the world. He's dwelling on the chicken sandwich. Oh my God. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. But does that mean he should be doxxed? No. Does that mean he should have his bank statements hacked into? For fuck's sake, no. Just have fun at the fact that he is literally losing his mind at pushing 40 years old over his mediocre looking chicken sandwich from a fast food restaurant. Oh God. And it's not, and that's what makes the comedy. Like, if he was doing it as like a skit, you know, kind of like this ass. I don't know what that means. I just wanted to fart to you. But if he was doing it as a skit, fine, but like, it wouldn't be as funny. But he means this. This is real to him. This is something that he wakes up with. He counted to 10 days. So he, at some point within that time period of the sandwich that was not up to his, not satisfactory to him, to that means at least once a day he thought about that chicken sandwich to the point that it bothered him that he had to 10 days later retweet about it, and the fact that he contacted the company multiple times, Burger King. So that was a factor in his life. That was a portion of his daily routine every day. thinking about that sandwich. That makes me jealous. That I wish that was like a biggest stressor in my life. I genuinely do. I wish that was the biggest stressor. And this will be the final super chat of the evening because, man, I'm feeling it now. I'm getting tired. A lot of men go through a lot of abuse, but society says we won't talk about it. Just saying 3 times. So, yeah, that's not okay either. I don't think that it'll lift. Here, we got one more for you. Abuse is abuse, and I don't think that men should be shamed because they're being abused and coming forward. But that is a thing, and that's not okay. Chris Chan was tasting his... Oh, dude, yeah. Remember, that was his whole... Oh, I recycle it. So I drink my own... Okay. Everybody, it's been a fantastic evening. Regular chat, super chat, members. There's 2 new members tonight. I appreciate all of you. I am going to start doing a little bit of a push for members because I think that would be... It's kind of dumb that I don't... It's not that I'm going to smear it all over and make it like other people do in streams, but I am going to start pushing for that. And if we do eventually get to 1,000 members, there's no set time for that. But when that goal is hit, for 30 streams, yes, I will wear a chicken costume. I'm serious. So, but there's no rush for it. I'm not going to push it all the time, but I will start pushing it a little bit. Anyway, have a great evening. And don't be like Chris Chan. Drinking your jizz is an awful idea, and it's... Ugh. Good night.